Recording now. Hare Krishna. And I welcome everyone. We've been doing Shri Isopanisad, and it's been a while. Srila Prabhupadaji's very detailed summary of all the previous acharyas. We will go very quick, the background, what we have been doing, and then we can continue. So feel free to follow me, join me if you like in the recital of Mangalacharan, and then very quickly we will resume back to our sessions. Om. अज्ञानातिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवंश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथवितं तं सजीवम् साधुवैतं सवादूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखावितं च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशकारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रील गुरुदेव महाराज की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। जय जय श्री राधेश। हरे कृष्ण। Right, so Shri Ishopanishad, and we have been doing recap at the beginning of every session. So today we are going to go straight where we left last time. And as I've always said that this is borrowed knowledge, a lot of it, because I get it from the presentations. I listen myself. I have done some courses as well. And of course, just like everyone, some of the realizations which we all have, and these sessions we come together to share whatever we have learned. So it's a mutual beneficial occasion where I get the benefit by serving, and I learn from your experience and whatever the realization experiences you have. Please, always welcome to hear from you. So we started chapter 16. So 16, 17, 18, the last three mantras left for Shri Ishopanishad. And we are discussing the prayers. Before we discuss the prayers, is the relationship which Srila Prabhupada picked up in this. That what is the relationship? How great our relationship with the Lord is. So the Lord's position. So remember what we said, A, B, C. If we are at A, where we are. If you want to go to C, where we want to go to, and then the route from A to C, which way we would like to go to. That's how simple the spiritual world is. Or if you think that the material world is the same, wherever we are in a company and wherever we would like to, and there are various ways to reach to that destination. It's as simple as that. A student will do the same. A student in GCSE, in A level, in university. I am at 70%. I would like to aim 100%. Now, from 70 to 100, how should I practice? So, which way I should study? It's very similar to that. So, Lord's position, because we would like to reach to the God. Now, the different ways people interpret what and how to reach to the Lord. Now, what is Lord? Some people will say Lord is a person, personalist, which is a dualist, which is mainly Ramanujacharya ji, Madhvacharya ji, and then Gaudiya Math, where ISKCON is part of. They will say Krishna is a person and would like to go there. And then we have impersonalists, and they would like to reach to the impersonal Brahman. And that's the Lord's definition. But at the end of the day, either ways, Lord is Sat Chit Anand. So there's no, and you include Buddhism, Jainism, any religion or any major organized religion. The purpose is Sat Chit Anand, which is this material world. We are suffering, and we would like to go beyond the suffering. And not only that, we would like to go temporary. We would like to go permanent. Hence, all the religions will say this is temporary place, and we should go out of it. Now, the only difference is that some will say that we will only reach to the Lord or Satchitananda state after we leave this body. But others will say, well, no, that's not true. We could realize the Lord with this body. Now, the beauty is Sanatan Dharma will support both. That when you leave the body, you will this vicious circle, take birth, die, take birth, then die, then keep taking birth in various janmas, various species. You can break that cycle, but this will only happen after you leave the body. Hare Krishna, Mataji, please.
I find times it interpretation of Sat in a different ways. Some say it is eternity, some say it is truth, some says it, so I find. So can you explain me what it actually means? Sat, Chit is consciousness, isn't it?
Yes.
And Anand is bliss, but Sat I find it difficult to grasp.
Yes, very nicely, Mataji. The question is so much valid, because again, if the goal is not clear, then we will struggle. So Sat, Chit, Anand. So Anand is bliss, which is spiritual bliss rather than material happiness. Chit is conscious. So we always say if you are millionaire, right? Or we bought the ticket, even though gambling is not allowed. But let's say if we bought the ticket and we won the lottery, but we won the lottery, but we don't know about it. We are rich, but we don't know about it. Is that money sitting in somebody's, in government's account? It's our money, but we are not conscious about it. Hence, we need to be conscious about this. The bliss is there, but we are not conscious about it. So that consciousness, bliss. There is a bliss, and we are conscious about it, right? But now the very first thing, that let's say that money is there for us, and that money is going to give us happiness, give us bliss. But that money is going to last only for 30 days. And I don't remember the name of a movie, but that the concept was so spiritual. It's a very, very old movie. I don't even remember the actors and all. But the grandfather left a lot of money. I mean, if I'm saying this was 20 years old movie, then in crores, which is like billions now. But to a grandson, and for some reason, grandson was away, and grandson was poor. So the grandfather said, well, I'm going to die now, and before I die, I would like to make peace with this grandson of mine. So call him. And he said on his deathbed, I'm dying, everything is yours, and he'll pass. But then, very interesting thing happens. There was a solicitor. Solicitor said, all this money is yours, but your grandfather, who couldn't explain because he just died, that he has left a condition. The condition was that you will have to spend and I think he said 30 crores, for example. You have to spend 30 crores in 30 days. And then maybe 30 or 300,000 crores will be yours. If you won't able to spend 30 crores in 30 days, then that money is not yours. Now that's where the Sat concept is. It's conditional. If you fulfill that, then it's yours. If you don't do it, it's not. So that 300,000 to start with is not eternal. It's not Sat. Because first of all, it will only be yours based on that condition. And of course, even if you will get it, which the hero at the end did, that 300,000 going to disappear at some point. So that's not Sat. That's why in Upanishads, the way we define Lord, rather than saying Satyachit Anand, they just concentrate on Sat. They call it absolute truth. So Sat is truth. Satya. Satya mein vijayate. Satya. Satya. Absolute truth. Absolute is the adjective. Now we do have relative truth, which changes. Relative truth is somebody will say, who's your favorite actor? You will say this person. What is your favorite dish? You will name a dish. And then maybe 5 years later, you ask, who's your favorite actor now? It will change. That was a truth then, but that truth is not true anymore for me. Now, Sat is the absolute truth is which never changes. There is no condition whatsoever, which is the Lord is Satchitanand, which is Lord is always loving. Lord is always protected. Lord is always there to protect us. Lord's hand is always stretched towards us. Always. This is irrespective of what we will do. This is what Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, that I'm impartial. I'm impartial, which meant that I will stretch my hand to both Arjun and Duryodhan. However, I love Arjun because Arjun stretches his hands towards me as well. So that's what we call eternal, which never changes. Now, coming to us, this body is relative. There was a time this body was small, then this body is growing every day, and one day this body is going to go away. But there is something in this body which never changes. Hence, and this is such a beauty that if we see the concept in Vedic culture, they are underlying same concept in all. So all the saints, all the sages, and I would also say even all other religions I have, whatever limited knowledge I have for other religions, the underlying principle is the same, and that is eternal. That hence people will say this material world is there, and after this there will be eternal happiness. Somebody will say in heaven you will have eternal, which means you go there and that's it. You will never come back. And Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says the same. Na prapadyante. You will never fall down. Right? Once you come to my dham, you will never come down. And that's eternal. Once you have it, of course, you can come down as if it's your choice. If you can come down, like what Srila Prabhupada ji, Guru Maharaj said that he's just here to deliver others, right? Like a request, Lord said to his dear devotee, would you go out and help the guys there, right? It's like others are there in the mud and somebody will come down there in the mud to help others to come out, right? But the state of that devotee is always eternal, because that devotee knows this is mud and I'm not going to stay here. The only reason I'm staying here to help others, and we'll go back. So that's what eternal is. For us, Satya Chit Anand, that our body will die, hence it's not eternal. Our soul will never die. Sankhya Yoga, Atma Yoga, the very first and foremost yoga, the knowledge given to Arjun by Lord Krishna. Fortunately, fortunately for us, that Arjun didn't accept it, or Arjun asked more questions. Hence, Krishna had to give many other paths. It's like, do this. Like parents will say to the children, just study hard, maybe 10 hours in a day, and you will get 100% from 70%. True. But how many kids will able to focus that hard? We all know what we should do, what we should not eat, where we should not kill time. We should do exercise all the time. We do know whether we can control our senses. So not just for the kids, we are the kids for the Lord. Hence, the idea is that other things are suggestive to us. But the reason is because we would like to get to that state which is eternal, which is Sat, which will never ever change. So another very mundane example, if you have FD, let's say we have FD of 10 lakhs in the bank. Now on the FD, we get interest, maybe 7% interest in India, I think. Then that 10 lakhs, which is principal, will stay as it is. And interest will come and go. 7% might become 10%, might become 5%. But that 10 lakhs will stay as it is. Of course, until unless we will take that out. So for limited time, if we say, because our life is limited as well, we say that 10 lakhs is eternal. For us, it's not. But for us, our understanding, mundane example, that's eternal, that's not going to change. But the interest will keep changing. So that's what the Lord is. Lord's position is eternal, never changes. Our understanding changes. That's it.
Okay, very nice. Yes, I've understood. So it can mean truth and eternity both, isn't it?
Yes, yes, that's right. It's eternal truth, absolute truth, which will never change. The Lord, the God, the Ishwar has been, even in Shri Isopanisad, the Lord has been. So, of course, Srila Prabhupada ji added Krishna. Otherwise, Krishna's name is not there in Shri Isopanisad Sanskrit shlokas. What they have said is truth, the absolute truth. And Upanishads are full of absolute truth. They haven't defined like in Puranas, we have the Vishnu, we have the Shiva, we have the Brahma, and we have, of course, Bhagavatam for Krishna. But Upanishads, they always mention Satta. Lord is Satta. Lord is absolute truth, which meant that it will never change. The position of the Lord will never, ever change. Never, ever change. Hey, Krishna. Thank you so much for that, Mataji. It is indeed very important for us to realize what we would like to say. Okay, Haribo, we got 10 minutes there. So we will focus. Very important to understand what Lord's position is, and that's Satya, that Lord will never change. Satya Chitananda, living entity where we are also Satya Chitananda, but we will, we haven't realized it. Hence, if we say impersonal, the gap between personal and impersonal. So impersonal will say where we are, that we are under the influence of Maya. We need to come out of the influence of Maya, and we will realize the same quality as the Lord. Hence, we are filling that gap between A and C. We are at A under the influence of Maya. We want to be at Lord's place, which is Satchit Ananda, beyond Maya. Hence, fill the gap, come out of that influence of Maya. But what the devotees will say, do devotional service, improve, purify your consciousness. And one day you can, obviously, with your body, you can transcend the material mode of nature, which is goodness, passion, ignorance. Whatever we will do because it's our nature to do. We will not do ignorant things. We only get passionate for the spiritual things. And we will do the good, not for the sake of doing good, that it's a karma kand, we do good, we will get good results. No, we do good because we realize we are Satyachitta Ananda, we are supposed to do good. And there are many examples like this. A lot of sages, a lot of saints are there, the true, real ones. And then Lord's dealings and relationship with living entity. And this is partially, we just discussed, that Krishna's dealings with the devotees is the same. Krishna is never, ever, whether it's a criminal, Krishna will, it's like a justice. So based on our karma, we will get the results. And the rules are rules for everyone. Like in London, if you're driving, if it's 70 limit and 10% is given, 70 plus 10%, 77. If you drive 78, you're going to get the fine. That's it. If somebody can say, oh, well, why did you fine? You said you are impartial to all. No, we are impartial, but the rules are there to follow. Similar thing, Krishna has made some laws for us because we are in material body and material world, and we need to abide by the material rules. If we break them, we can't escape. We just can't escape. And Lord deals impersonalists, Lord deal devotees. And then more on, so here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and within 3, A and B. And now we will go and see in detail each and every step. So 1, origin of both Brahman and Paramatma. So in Bhagavad Gita, there is a verse where it says, Brahman ite, Paraman ite. Then at the end, so there are 3 things mentioned. There are 3 aspects, and we have discussed this. There are 3 aspects of the Lord. Brahman realization, that Krishna is there within me. Paramatma realization, that Krishna which is there in me is there in everyone. And then Bhagavan realization, that the source of what's there in me, the source of what's there in everyone is the Lord, is Krishna, is Bhagavan. And the sun is there, the sun radiation falling on me, sun radiation falling on you, sun radiation falling on everyone. That sun is there. So these are 3 realizations. Sun is falling on me, sun falling on everyone, and the sun is itself is there. So these 3. Brahma Jyoti, effulgence emanates from him. We have seen Brahma Jyoti in the Goloka chart as well, that from the Lord, Brahma Jyoti is coming. Brahma Jyoti is that state where yogis go and there is no misery there. The only bliss you get is that there is no misery. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for your message, Mataji. Hari Go. And enjoy the eternal pastimes. And again, the pastimes are eternal. And I will very briefly mention, this is sometimes very hard to understand, that it says enjoys eternal pastime. Now our Grantha, and this is when we go deep, and if Krishna's mercy, if we will go to, we will complete like our Bhakti Shastri, 4 books, and then we will move on to Bhagavatam one day, hopefully. Then we will see in Bhagavatam there is a mention, when we read in detail, try to understand the verses from what Acharya says, that we of course know that the time is, so that's another thing in Vedic culture. If we see the Western world and their philosophers, they considered as a linear. And Chaitanya Charan Prabhuji has explained it very nicely in one of those sessions. And I think we have covered briefly as well. Their timeline is linear. If you say Abrahamic, so Christians, Jews, Muslims, if you ask them, the society, the world, material world was created at one point, it went straight, or it will go straight, and one day it will finish. It's linear, start and end. In Vedic culture, we don't have that. We believe in cyclical. It will, like a circle, it will continue. Satyug, then we have the Treta Yuga, and we have the Dwapar Yuga, then we have Kali Yuga, and then again, and in between the destruction happens, then the big destruction will happen and Satyug will start again. And this will continue. So life cycle of Brahma, we have seen it, and many other places we have seen similar thing. Now what happens, that like Krishna came here. So we say around 400 years back, Lord Chaitanya was there in Kolkata, and then of course travel all over the world, who is considered as a silent incarnation of the Lord, but he himself is a Lord. And that's another thing to discuss at some point. But then 5,000 years back, because Kali Yuga been there for 5,500 years back, and roughly, let's say at that point, Krishna was there. Just before that, Krishna was there when the Mahabharata happened in Dwapar. Then that Dwapar Yug, when Krishna came, then when we have just said that Satyug, Treta, Dwapar, Kalyug, and then again it will happen, then Krishna will come back again. And then the pastime of Krishna in Vrindavan will happen again. Hence it says these are eternal pastimes. They keep going. They keep going. How many Brahmands are there? And it might be happening. So in our Brahmand, it's Kalyug. In some other Brahman, it might be Dwapar, and the Krishna is still doing that Leela. In other, there might be Treta and Lord Ram is there. In other, there might be Narsimha Devs. And each and every, it's not like exact replica. There are some variations in all the Leelas, but the Leelas are the same. So Prahlad Maharaj is there, and then Narsimha Dev is there, and then there might be minute details, and these details, the indication is there in Bhagavatam, and then Acharya is explained more. So without any confusion, I will just stop it there. But remember, enjoy is eternal pastimes, and you might think, well, it's not eternal. Krishna came at one point, and Krishna left at one point. It's not eternal, but we say eternal because it continues, because it comes back again and again, and it's happening at some point at this moment. So hence we say eternal pastime. These pastimes were there, they are here, they will happen in this Brahman, in another Brahman, and it keeps going until unless one day all the Brahmand will go, all the material worlds will end, and everybody will go to a spiritual world. Now, when that happens, if that happens, not sure. There, well, at least I don't know of any mention when it says that all the material world will finish and it will be only spiritual world. I don't have any reference for that. So, as far as my understanding goes, it will continue. Of course, it will continue for others and it might end for us. When it will end is based on our own. Of course, two fingers, as per in Kartik. We do our service, we do the devotional service, but we have to wait for Krishna's mercy. So it's like somebody is in the jail, the person will do good acts, but you have to wait for the jailer to report to the court that this person has been doing well. Hence, we can reduce. We should reduce the term maybe from 30 years to 5 years. So something like that, if we think about it. Okay, so it's under a minute now, so we will stop here. But great conversation. Thank you so much for everyone's presence. And we will continue where we have left now, and we will try to understand the definition of Bhagwan even in more detail. So thank you so much with that.